Yo, what is good, everybody? What is good? Excuse me if I am long-winded about this episode of Overlord and if I go into detail about it, but overall, with all of these seasons of a show that I truly didn't even expect to get a season 2, and when we got season 2, we got probably the fastest season 3 of a show I've seen in quite some time since shows like Bleach or shows like I want to say something just huge. Um, and I feel like Overlord has somehow surpassed a lot of those traditional means. Okay, the best example of how fast Overlord came out was the speed of My Hero Academia after season 2 and how they announced season 3, okay? Like just instant knew that they were going to do it. There was no guessing, there was no anything. We knew it was coming. It was already in the works because they know how well the show is being portrayed. And with Overlord living up to this crazy roller coaster of different ways of telling the story, and not only telling the story, but seemingly trying to keep it out of the realms of other people's storytelling, where we're supposed to get this huge, drawn out fight where two people start breathing hard and one's got to make the final move to be able to defeat them. Even Isengone himself was flattering his opponent, you can say, in the sense of telling him that if this is a duel, you should be able to defeat your opponent. And with this sword that you have, you just might be able to do that. And I honestly think that was Eisengone's only true reason to take this fight seriously and to go into such broken methods to take out my favorite human in the show. And if you guys didn't enjoy this character, I hope that you can enjoy him now that you've seen just how he lives up to his ideals, just how he carries himself in a situation where all could be lost and he still puts his best foot forward. Um, he is the true reason of like thinking of paladins and like true warriors and stuff like that. They gave him that true essence, and I don't think anyone can actually take that away from him, nor would anybody want to, not even someone like the great Isengone or the best friend who wanted to fight alongside him. They really put forward just how powerful they can make the impact of these characters be. And at the same time, some people found some, actual hidden meaning behind everything that was going on. When we go back to Isengone, though, someone who has truly given up on humanity and is all about him and his Nazarek, anybody who is a part of his clan, pretty much. He is in a position where he doesn't learn much from what just happened. He only saw it as something foolish, something trivial. And not only all of that, he was going to the furthest degree to try to figure out a way to either A, get the sword off the body, or B, resurrect the whole entire person. So even though he said no to joining him, he now still has a person close to what, like a former shell of what a person was like him. And I think all of this kind of strives from where he says, I've seen those eyes before, the ones willing to press forward. Knows death is ahead, but still presses forward. And that's what a true paladin does. That's what a true tank does. And I think out of everybody, Isengone truly sees Lord Touch Me ideals and way of living in this man, and that's the only true reason why he even extended the invitation to let him join and even further, become one of his subordinates that are going to take probably, some very high class weapons and armor that he can give to him to be stronger, but instead he gives him the most swiftest deaths, and I say gives him one of the most swiftest deaths because we honestly don't know what he experiences after being hit by that. So to think that after he, kicks the bucket or gets hit with true death, we have to assume that hopefully it just goes black and that was it. He doesn't suffer. He doesn't any of that stuff. So uh, I don't think Isengard wanted that to happen to him. Another reason why he went to the max degree of just showing him true respect in battle. Like, he held back nothing. And to think that he even was talking about tips of how to beat him while he was pretty much about to destroy him just kind of showed me he really wanted something more for that guy. And that was kind of, in my opinion, the last inkling of someone that was connected to his humanity side. His human side was 100% connected to that guy. The way he saved him, the way that he went out to the village to save the people in the village, which I can honestly actually say that his humanity is probably attached to the village as well. But when it came down to protecting them and saving the whole village, he only wanted to protect the four people who would keep production going in the search of the potions and in search of keeping them under a leash in the sense of if my parents perished and I was working for somebody and I was making potions and my parents died and it could have been helped or it could have been stopped by the people that were watching over the village, I would be furious and probably wouldn't want to work for them anymore. And that's what I think Isengone has the true power and the true scariness to calmly take over everything. Because mind you, this story continues. There's something more that Isengone can still achieve throughout all of this, and that's world domination, everybody. Um, at this point, Isengard actually sees the people who were considered NPCs in this world as people. He called this a PvP match, a player versus player, and that is probably the most highest praise I could ever imagine Isengard giving to an NPC who is now, you know, has his own life accordingly. Uh, you notice when he fought against anybody who he disliked, he never gave him like an inkling of true respect besides a quick nod here and there, and then completely destroyed them and probably made them suffer a little bit. This fight, there was no suffering. He did not want to do this act, and if he was going to do it, he was going to do it as quickly as possible and as painless as possible. And maybe there is some humanity left, but with this story going forward and Isengard capturing a kingdom when all he wanted was to spread his name across the lands, it's his narrative is slowly changing, and just by watching his army walk in and about to just do whatever they're about to do to, um, continue their reign, to see Momo come out and do this huge presentation for the humans that are inside the place to then follow Momo and maybe even give him the information about the prince that we're going to need later down the line when the grand team of Alliance gets summoned, because now the prince has done exactly what he wanted. He wanted everybody to understand that Isengard is a threat, but I think Isengard, knowing that opportunity of someone raising his own threat level amongst uh, this world, he knew better than anyone that as soon as he did that, if they think that they can snuff him out at all, he had to put it into that. So what does he do? He kills 70,000 people with one move. And not to mention his one of his comrades had already killed hundreds or thousands of people with one move as well at the prince's capital. So now we're looking at this huge um, level of power coming from the master and then coming from the disciples. And all of that is the information the prince is going to use to make this grand alliance. But with Momo being someone that's unmasked and has been seen as a human to some people, and we know Lord Ainz has a way to make it look like a human face, um, we also know that this is not Lord Ainz in that armor right now. It is the guy who takes care of all of the the merchandise, the treasure. He's the guy in the treasure room in disguise as Lord Ainz right now. So to think that he could put on that much of a performance with that much of a voice and everything goes to show you that regardless if it is Ainz or not, this man could probably pull off quite a big feats within this armor and having the same weapons, wielding them as easily, if not easier, than Lord Ainz. So I am so hyped for this, you guys. If you are excited like me, make sure you guys subscribe and drop a like on the channel so I know you guys enjoy some Overlord. But not only that, with it coming back, I will be on it on top of that all the time. I will be doing more reviews on other animes all the time, and if it is news that pops up at any time during those reviews I'm doing, I will give you the scoop. I will give you the loop. Um, I've been thinking of what else I could do for this channel to make there be not just content on reviews, but a little bit of other content that I've been having in mind, like giving you guys suggestions on really dope older school animes that are fully done, and I can just give you an overall synopsis that you can check out. But that's for a later video for me to talk about that. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like I said, subscribe because Overlord Season 4 is coming and I will be all over that if you want to be with me through that ride as well. This is the time to subscribe and the time to tell me what other animes are coming out in your opinion, and we can talk about them maybe on the channel when they come out, or maybe we can talk about it on Twitter, whatever. So with that, everybody, I hope you guys have a good one, and I will talk to you later in the next one. Black Clover next. Talk to you later. Take care.